Pulling in, he said.
All right, I just had that.
Anybody else want to use this key?
I'm good right now. Here you go.
You brought dinner.
I had to.
Brought snacks.
I had to.
You did say you were bringing back.
I did.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Everybody else is eating at home, so.
This is hot. This is hot.
You need that packet.
Will do?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, here you go, hand that back to Kristen. Paper, and more paper.
Lots of paper.
How many trees did you kill?
Too many. Yeah, it's me.
All right.
All right, I'd like to call the regular meeting for the Montrose Park and Recreation Committee dated December 1st, 2022. Call to order. Eddie?
Here.
Roll call. Next, sorry. Eddie?
Here.
Toby?
Here.
Kayla?
Here.
Michelle?
Here.
We need a motion for approval of the meeting agenda.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Bullet? Eddie? Toby?
Aye.
Michelle?
Aye.
I,
I vote aye. Approval of November 10th meeting minutes. Any discussion on that? You have a motion, vote on it?
I'll make a motion.
Okay,
I'll second it.
okay. Eddie,
Aye.
Toby,
Aye.
Michelle?
I need to abstain. I wasn't at the meeting.
Okay. Kayla?
Aye.
I vote no. Aye also. Next item on the agenda is old business, park and trail plan.
The paperwork that she just handed out with the red line. I'm not sure, I'm gonna ask you this, Christie. After I did this, of course, then I realized, are we actually gonna be doing these changes? Is this adequate? There, because that entire park and trail plan is outdated, so all of the other information in there, who's gonna update that?
Us.
We do.
So all the parts like with the data for like, it said, you know, for the next 20 years, what the population, all of that is, all of that kind of information?
We
That's
might
what I'm
work with
asking about.
EDA on that, and
Okay.
they can help us pull some of that information.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, who is gonna do that? I mean, I've done this part, this is there's two separate parts in the original park and trail plan. There's a section that explains each of the parks, which is the first part that you'll see on each of these pages. The second part is in the section in the back, which is where they ask for what the recommendations are going forward.
Sure.
So there's kind of two separate areas where there's an explanation of the park, which I think is kind of redundant. So a lot of it, I didn't change some of that, but I don't think that we need, you know, where is Carver Field and what is it on one section, another section, where is it and what is it again, and what are your recommendations?
Right.
So I didn't edit the second part, I basically just made one explanation of each of the parks and what's there at the time, what's there for now. And then what our recommendations were from all of our visits. So it's gonna be a big task going through the rest of that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's something we wanna start tackling, you know, this winter piecemeal.
And I think that seems realistic. I mean, I think that, you know, whatever you guys are gonna present to the council in January, February, once you kind of, you know, get all this together, it's a part of it, but it won't be complete, but it's a great start.
Okay.
And some of the other stuff, like you said, some of it's probably just outdated to the point where it might not even need to be in there. It might be
Yeah.
redundant, and we might need to add stuff that's just missing that you guys think is pertinent.
How
So
many pages for this do you got? Because I think I got two of the same thing.
you might, there was several, so.
There should be, there should be 3 page, or let's see, 1, 2, there's 6 parks. So she printed them front and back. There's
Because these
Carver and
these are
Forest.
Something.
Yes,
Left
yeah, there
to
might
second
be,
maybe I
page.
should duplicates.
I think the council was, kind of one of the vibes I'm getting from them was to us to get out there and
You
visit
can
the
pass
parks
that
and make
back.
some recommendations and see some
Yeah.
stuff. And I understand that, looking at the whole packet, it's gonna be more of a time commitment on our part as far as, you know, adding more, on the data side of it.
Right, it's more administrative stuff. I
So-
mean, that's just something, as I was looking through this and realized that there's two separate sections where the things, and I started reading some of the other, just, you know, just the kind of the basic stuff, like what the needs for how many parks we need, how many square miles of parks we should have. That stuff, I mean, you can tell that it's very outdated, and I'm not sure where some of that information would come from.
Right.
So,
Who, developed that original? That
Do we
plan
know?
in 15, yeah. Well, Shell, you did?
Mhm.
So where did you get a lot of that information?
We went through it page by page as a commission, along with our public works director.
Okay.
So, that was Sean at the time, and he was a big part of helping us get through it.
What is your opinion on the original document as it stands today?
There's a lot of outdated that needs to be, and then that's where I think we should have Dan come in, you know, and help us out on what
Okay.
his opinions are.
Okay. So maybe we can, see if Dan will be available, something that will carry over in the January, maybe the first quarter.
Yep.
And then ask Dan if he could come in and we'll go through it. We don't, you know,
And work closely with Kayla on doing that second part. Don't be too good at something.
yeah, I'm trying to be careful of it. Let's not wade in too deep.
any discussion, Eddie or Toby on the matter? Toby,
No, not at this time, no.
any thoughts? Michelle, do you have any additional thoughts?
No, I've done this before, so, like I said, it's just working closely with your public works guy.
Dan?
So as I have these written up, either we can review them here, I guess we could also review them on our own time and talk about them next time if we want to do that.
I think if we do both of them, we'll review them on our own time and then review them as a group, because you're gonna see something maybe that.
Yeah, yeah, but if you guys do it and then we bring it back next meeting and say, I don't think that this is right that you added, or I don't like the word
Right,
in
yeah,
this,
that's
or,
what I'm saying,
yeah,
that we can go over.
but not
all-
sit here right now and go over
Yeah,
this right now.
'cause-
Right.
Yeah, 'cause we- yeah.
Okay, so basically what I'm hearing is basically the stuff in red you want us to review. Your suggestion is for us to,
Yep, so the second half of each of the sheets where it says updated is where I made the change to
The
the
red.
first section, which is, I crossed out things, added
Okay.
things, to the explanation of the park, just
Okay.
the description in the plan of what the park is and where it is, and then the section where, for the recommendations that we talked about needing to be done in the park. There's a couple question mark things and I typed them in there just kind of with asterisks, seeing if that's something that we need to address that we haven't talked about yet.
okay?
I like that idea. So, we'll make a motion to put this on the agenda to review, what do you, our review of the parks, I guess
Review
is
the
what you
first,
call it?
I just put the first six
The
parks.
first
you're right.
6 on the agenda?
The next meeting?
Yeah.
Okay. So come prepared to offer your input on these things that were flagged here in red.
Yep.
Add it to the next agenda, or next meeting on the agenda.
Yeah.
Because by then we should have, along with this, I mean, we got those, the last 4, but those are,
Yeah, we can discuss them.
we can discuss those with it, right? I would think, anyway.
Well, and I can probably work on coming up with, the next group. Like I said, I only did 6 because I saw the list of, or the
Right.
size of this agenda and said there's no way that we're gonna even get through any more than that.
Yeah.
Assuming we're gonna talk about it tonight. So, I can come with another batch of those too, so that we can take those for the next review. And
Okay.
actually get it going.
We
so.
want to discuss the next 4 parks, all right?
Yeah,
Yes,
gotta-
we still do.
Yes, we
Right.
gotta do that.
So
yeah.
do we need a
But let's
motion
see.
on this to table this for next meeting?
I did, I
Okay.
made that motion.
All right, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Have a vote. Eddie?
Aye.
Toby?
Aye.
Michelle?
Aye.
Kayla?
I,
I vote aye also.
you guys can email me if you have any questions about that.
I will, December council meeting, I'll remind them that, because I said that we would have I didn't promise a finished document that, but I said we'd visit the parks, we'd have something to go, but I will just remind them after kind of digging into it a little bit more, it's going to require a little bit more of our time. But at least the parks at least have been visited and we've identified
That
maintenance.
part
And maybe what we could do is, we could still identify, you know, like the high-end stuff, dollar amounts, you know, or high priority items that we kind of.
So the things that I put in, you know, in the things that are recommendations in the park and trail plan are more the long-term things. I didn't include any of like our housekeeping kind of things, you know, like,
Okay.
you know, if it was that they need to repair a
Yeah.
bench or, there were some that, you know, like at Veterans Park where there's a lot of benches that need repair, I did put in there. But if it was one little thing that we were kind of gonna ask,
That might be
Done
a punch
usually.
list that you wanna get Dan, like in the spring,
Yes.
you know, or in the in
Which I-
January, February.
which we probably should put everything together and compile that, because otherwise it's just gonna get lost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's probably gonna need some time and
Yeah.
whatever. He's probably gonna have to, all right, the next item underneath park and trails is discussion, of the last 4 parks. I wanna open that up,
Which we
for
wanna start with.
discussion.
Which one do you want to start with?
Well,
Let's just go Lions.
let's start with Lions, I guess. When I voted, I stopped over there and, you know, the picnic shelter is in pretty good shape, but they need to be repainted. This is what I saw and remember. The swing set, if you remember right, the swing set, when the Lions was here, they've actually, I think we're sitting on a couple swing sets donated by them. But I think that we should maybe take a look at replacing that swing set with one of their swing sets. I think that'd be a good move. Also, I think it lacks playground equipment. For it to be a central located park, I'm just kind of, I was kind of disappointed in what I saw as far as lack of playground equipment for the children, for the community.
It isn't too far though from Veterans either. It's only a few-
No,
3 blocks maybe.
but-
Yeah, but if they, you know, young kids.
But,
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I
you
totally
look at,
agree.
yeah, I mean, there was a couple of graders out there, you know, you sit on and, you know, and it's just like the horseshoe pits needed new covers. The shelters needed some touch-up painting. They were
Picnic
still,
tables were.
they were still pretty solid, yeah, the picnic tables needed to be,
Either new or just
right.
get new ones or just completely, most of them are wobbly.
That was
If you
just
ever
kind of,
sat
that
on
was just kind of, that was just kind of my initial visit there. Was I decided if he, you know, if she was here that night and asking about swing sets and that type of thing, I'm thinking maybe we should put that on that list and kind of get that done. And maybe we need to make a move to see if we can get some playground equipment or purchase some playground equipment. You know, maybe identify what should kind of go in there based upon the demographics. That's just kind of my thought.
I would also agree with that. I had the shelters kind of need a little bit of TLC.
Yeah,
They're all getting a little old and
yeah.
a little bit of rotting wood up in there.
Yeah.
Swing set definitely needs to be either a new one or refurbished somehow.
What are you gonna do at the merry-go-round?
Huh?
The merry-go-round that's over there,
Yeah, I saw that.
classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of those
Yeah.
around.
No.
Love those things.
Yeah, you're like getting 40 returns on that thing too, like in the summer. It's just
Yeah.
Well, I just thought, you know, central part of town, you know, and it's near City Hall, it's near the community center, and it's just like, it's almost like not getting a bang for the dollar, so to speak. I guess that'd probably be the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
And another thought you might wanna keep in the back of your mind is that is where Montrose Days is, the town celebration.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So,
You put too much
if you
stuff.
put too much stuff
Yeah.
there, you can't have the bands and stuff, and all that stuff in there too.
Right.
So, I don't know,
It's just, it's,
Well, that still shouldn't stop from improving the playground,
right,
correct?
right.
Right, or even just,
Right, and that-
even with small pieces.
Right, and the
it wouldn't have to
shelters,
be
I mean, we're not really
big.
doing anything with those other than some light maintenance.
Is
Yeah.
there lighting in there?
Michelle.
no, I don't think there
Lighting
is.
and where? In the
The
pic-
shelter?
Yes, there is on the main
Does it
one.
work though?
Well, that I didn't turn
On
on.
the front one? Or is it the bigger one?
The bigger one.
Yeah, the bigger one has it, the small
Has
one
electric,
doesn't.
has lights there, right. The other one, that was the front one, I kind of was disappointed in how that was kind of put together. Thinking it wasn't a well thought out plan, if somebody wanted to do some catering, to supplement, the larger building,
Yeah,
so to
Yeah.
speak.
Is it concessions where they do their burgers and stuff? Is that Boy Scouts or is that
that's the
city?
cities.
Cause that probably could use some TLC too.
Right, right.
That's been there for a lot of years.
And
The
then
horseshoe,
the
the
little
horseshoe
building
pits
next to it
needs
is also
new,
the city.
horseshoe pits need new covers. They're just like
Yeah.
rotted plywood and,
Yeah.
whatever. That
Right.
kinda needs some upkeep.
A lot of curiosity, how much does that get used?
The horseshoes,
Yeah,
Montrose days,
that's it,
pretty much.
But-
And that is if
which seems to
somebody,
be standard.
and if somebody sets up a tournament, they haven't done a tournament in
Right,
5-6 years.
but
probably.
maybe that's something we can, take a look at later on down the road. But
So
anyway,
that's why I would say though, my thought on that is do we need to have those?
covers,
No, the pits period. In all honesty, if nobody's run a tournament in 5 years,
It would
and
be
that's the
nice,
only time they're used, that's a space.
well, like Dan and I were just talking, I think yesterday, he's seen a park where they have like built-in beanbag. So you could do that instead of even horseshoes, because beanbags are always good. It's like a cement thing.
I mean, eventually that's gonna go kinda like horseshoes probably in any other recreational sport.
Right.
I mean, remember when poker was big?
Kind of runs its course.
Yeah, they,
yeah.
Mhm.
I think we should just leave it alone and not address the horseshoe pits or the new covers for at least this
Yeah, 'cause
coming
it's just
summer.
plywood that's on
Right,
'em.
right. Make it like a 1 to 3 year plan, decide what you wanna do with it, get some feedback from the community,
Yeah, because I think we have so many new people that have moved in, they probably don't even know that we have certain things at certain parks.
Right,
So,
Oh, they're probably 100%, but because some of these parks are
right.
pretty hidden.
yeah.
Anyway, that's what I saw at that park,
Yeah.
and that's kinda how I felt, initially. I'm just thinking, wow. Anybody else wanna talk about another park and what they saw?
Let's see. Well, do we want, before we move on to the next one, do we want to get specific about anything that we want to recommend for equipment?
Well,
There.
probably,
I think we have to research what,
I would say 100% new tables there, for some, those need to,
they were carved up and graffiti were written on them.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we need our recommendation is to, establish some sort of new playground equipment in there.
Change out the swing sets for sure.
For sure, the swing
And we
set.
have
yeah.
those swing sets for
Yes.
the Lions, so they're
Yes.
just, I mean, that might be a good switch out. That
And I
might be
think
a
we
good
had
place.
already pretty much said that we thought
Right,
those were
right.
going.
That's a good
Yeah,
PR, that's a good
where did
We
we
PR.
said
say-
2 for sure, I think is what
where
you
did we
said.
say, I think we said where the other.
Lions was the one that we for sure, I think,
Yeah.
said we wanted to. But
Yeah.
I don't remember that we
I don't know.
chose another for sure.
No, Lions for sure.
What did it say in here?
The only other really open park that it might go to is Thorson Skate Park, whatever we call it. Because everything else has a swing set. Like Rockbrook has a swing set,
New playground?
Northridge
Yeah,
has a swing
and we,
set.
and that was on our list of recommendations, was a piece of some kind of equipment
No,
though,
it just
that,
says new
that
playground.
went.
Yeah, yeah.
2 playgrounds, swings, yeah. Does say that in here.
Yeah,
For Thorson?
No,
Uh,
for
Lions,
veterans.
Lions.
Oh, that,
The swings, the other swing set.
That was the one you indicated, right? Okay.
yep, Lent's in there.
Okay. The other parks?
So new
Uh,
playground
Rockbrook,
equipment.
what'd you
Let's
guys
go to
see?
Rockbrook.
Well, Rockbrook was done, a lot of stuff was done. The only real thing, maybe, there's 2 things. They could maybe use a swing set, not necessarily need it there.
Is there space there?
Yeah, oh yeah.
At
Or
Rockbrook?
some sort of shelf, huh?
At Rockbrook there's space?
Yeah. There's,
How, yeah, how big, I guess,
that's right
I
on
didn't
the
realize
corner.
how, I guess I don't know how big.
from where the
it
playground is set,
was.
there's all that area
In the
behind.
behind,
Yeah.
but does that butt up into somebody's yard? How far?
Oh, yeah, if it goes all the way, if it's that whole corner
It's-
lot, I didn't know.
It's
if
that whole
was-
corner lot, there's a lot of room in there.
Yeah.
Either that or some sort of shelter, because there's no shade if parents want to bring there's a lot of kids back in there at this time anyway.
Could they use some benches?
The benches were good, I think it looked like the one bench.
Could we use
was
additional
pretty-
benches, you think?
There's one on each,
Yeah.
isn't there?
Pretty
There's
small.
3, I
There
think.
were 2 for sure that I don't remember off the top,
Okay.
but I know there's 2 for sure. But I'd say, because like I said, not a lot of shade there.
So maybe a recommendation is to plant some trees, maybe?
There's trees there, but they're this high and they're all along the edge.
Okay, so they're not, okay.
So a couple, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I think it was last summer, maybe the summer before, the Lions donated a bunch of trees, and I'm sure they'd be willing to do that again, but they are little like that, so they're not
Right.
gonna be great for
Takes a
shade
while.
yet. But though that's always an option, they're always willing probably to get more of those. So, just so you guys know.
Or it, I mean, it doesn't have to be nothing really big, maybe like a 8x8 or something, just for some, to sit for parents if it's a hot day out, or they wanna sit in the shade and watch their kid.
Well, remember though, Nicole is getting CCC to donate them,
Right,
so
Yeah.
maybe one of those could go
Could
out
go
there.
out there.
That would,
That's a good idea. That's a very good idea. That's a very good idea.
CCC.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I think we have for sure one of those. I think she talked about maybe.
I think
Yeah,
that
that
was that
was-
regional with the soccer field, wasn't it? Is that a discussion?
was it I thought it was one of those
I
smaller
was-
parks.
I was here late, so
I don't remember.
part of it.
I don't remember.
Cause the benches were at Lent, right? We were
We
doing-
put the benches at Lent already,
Mm-hmm.
and then the swing sets, and now these shelters, which, one.
Was it out at Thorson maybe?
Or was it, no, I think it was
we did
Lent.
say- Didn't we say regional because it was
Regional.
by the soccer field?
Yeah, or Lent, because that gets used too for soccer, and there's nothing there.
Because currently there's
Well,
nothing.
that's why we
Lent
put
is-
the benches
Lent's got
at
some
Lent.
shade though, they've
Yeah.
got some bigger trees
I thought it was
there, I
maybe-
think more than,
Yeah,
I thought
and
it
the
was
benches are there now. too.
Sword.
yeah.
Oh,
And then we
Sword
kind of
benches.
put them where we thought the shade
Yeah,
would be.
yeah,
I think the deal was that we went with regional just because
the soccer
there's
field.
not gonna be a shelter there anytime soon,
Mm-hmm.
so. the soccer
Well,
field-
we can make, well, once we get through all these parks, that's,
Well, I'm sure it's in our minutes somewhere. I don't remember what meeting.
Right.
And I
About
bet
where
you
we're
the
gonna put it?
carpentry contract, I mean, I bet you,
They'll do two.
I bet you they'll do too.
yeah.
It might take like another few
Because
months,
there's-
yeah, but I bet you they do too.
Yeah, because there's so many
But-
people
And they
that
seem really
live
excited
there,
about
work
doing
there. Mhm.
Yeah.
Regional.
All right, what about the other two additional parks?
All right, let's see, we're from
Park benches
Rockbrook
was
to,
one.
where's my list?
What is the other two?
Northridge? No.
Lent?
Lent
No,
we
that was
did.
a four
Lent
up
we
there.
did,
Or
yeah.
not Lent, Pheasant Hills. It was Pheasant
Oh,
Hills.
yeah, Pheasant
Rock-
Hills. Which, is that what it's called in here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on the side, isn't it?
Is that land outside all part of Pheasant Hills? That big, long area of just grass?
Grass, I believe so.
I think it's pretty when you get back
I
in
think
there.
that's owned by a developer, I believe.
Oh.
Not a developer, but I think it's somebody owns that privately,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
because they've been
Oh.
having a lot of these
Yeah.
apartments out there.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Not saying they'd come this way.
Right, right.
From what, and the land has been for sale as well, so they've been trying to get rid of it, but
Oh. Yeah, because I'm sure the city's not.
I'm pretty sure like Pheasant is like, just like that sliver,
Just on the path.
yeah.
Where's that road? No, not Rockbrook. Other side of town.
There was some vandalism issues in this park last year, wasn't there?
Mhm.
Multiple parts.
Yeah.
That one gets hit every
Well,
year.
that one, I was gonna say, I've heard that from that one multiple times, I
Yep.
remember reading about it.
Just wish they could spell correctly.
Yeah, they are not, they are not.
Oh! So we think it's the same ones over and
At
over?
least spell correct.
Right.
Was this the peeling of the stickers too, or no? That was at our
That
park.
was, yeah, that was a good, yeah.
No, this was.
I don't think that's
Spray
right.
paint, okay.
So what were you trying to get at, Eddie, with that stretch of property or?
Well, otherwise, that would be another good spot to maybe throw a soccer field, a hockey rink, so, you know, because
That was, we'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure we don't own that.
I'm not sure.
Is there any way we can verify that? City can verify that?
I wonder if the.
calls it Rockbrook Park on my
That owns all that
phone.
land across from there. If it's the same people.
No,
No.
no. I'm pretty sure like this one had like a Lakeville address.
Oh. I'm just adding that as a salt since I moved
Yeah,
in.
that-
Here's a strip of land.
Well, my wife right away said, oh, God, no. And I said, it'll only be another 150 houses.
Is that the only thing that, that identity?
I did not go out there, I learned it.
there's not much to see out there.
No, it's just a tiny little park out there.
Yeah.
What's the equipment like?
It's newer,
It's.
It is newer.
it's
The
new,
paint's
but
chipping
there's
off
literally,
it.
like,
cause there's so much vandalism.
it's-
Yeah.
The kids in the neighborhood do not go there. There's not enough for them to do, and it's a very young neighborhood as well, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, I could,
Is there
like,
something we could do to
I
make it
s-
more enticing and less enticing to vandals?
I mean,
Right.
so you have a pond back there too, so you also have that to like deal with. So I mean, it's very nice to just walk through, but
Buggy?
no,
No.
no, but it's just like you don't have a lot of land,
Yeah.
obviously, because you have.
otherwise, alls I put on it could use paint refurbished. It's got a light there, so it's lit, the benches are good.
Is it just that the equipment's not fun? The kids don't want
No.
to use
Pretty
it?
much.
boring.
It's very
Super
boring.
boring.
It's a
It-
climbing thing and swings.
It could,
Yeah.
no,
So like if we
there's no
were,
swings out
if we
there.
were ever able to get something else, you know, donate, we had talked about reaching out to, what is it called, landscape structures too, that would maybe be a
If you
good.
can fit it there, that's
Oh,
the
it's
thing.
just really.
I mean, you'd have to probably tear all that out.
Yeah, they didn't
Yeah.
plan for, well, but there's some trees in there too that they're just stumps that are cut off at the
That's
stumps.
because those fell over.
Well, I know, but that could be removed and that would open up some land for,
Yeah.
Well, that's on our list, get rid of the stuff.
Move stumps.
yeah, if that's, like 20 feet down the path.
Pretty sure that was this fall when they'll put it down,
Okay.
yeah.
But a swing or a
Yeah.
slide would be good in there.
If there's just maybe something that sounds like it's not very active equipment,
No,
so.
So we should look at maybe
Some
adding
of
some equipment, but maybe some light stuff.
That land there.
Something
was like-
small, but
Couple
maybe,
items.
I mean,
yeah,
but-
something
No,
spinning.
honestly, I
Maybe-
mean, I'm actually, yeah, but, I mean, I would maybe try
This
to
part
talk
of
to
land
some
here.
parents on that
Oh,
area.
that, we don't
And see what
Get
they,
some
what they
input.
would want, because
Yeah.
I know that that's, I mean, that's a big thing, I mean, they play in the street all the time, and stuff like that, which is
Yeah,
fine,
yeah.
but there's nothing for them to do there.
It's gotta be similar to how it was out at our park until we got, you know, until
That's a
we
pond,
got that
right?
big on equipment out there, you know, the kids didn't have anywhere to go.
I
to
just
do
noticed that
anything.
open field.
Yeah, we
over
had
there.
a partial grant for that equipment that's out there, but then it was still like
Yeah,
10,000-12,000. And it's minimal,
yeah,
it's
it's stupid expensive.
next to nothing.
Is it the kind of equipment that you can add on to, or is it not even anything
Not
like
really.
that?
No.
No.
Not, okay.
No.
You know, it's, yeah, like he says, pretty worthless, it's not even I didn't see
Yeah.
swings out there, but maybe.
There are swings, it's, what, two?
I think so.
Yeah.
And a
I mean, if anything, it's, if you guys did get anything out there, it's take that equipment and put it in vets or something, you know, because at least there's more to do at vets. You know, just.
Right,
add
and more
to-
room, yeah.
Exactly, you know, at least add to a park with that, rather
Use
than.
that little bit of
Yeah.
room for something more.
But like I said, if those stumps get moved, there might be a little bit, maybe to run, put a slide or something in. But right now, it's
Is there?
an 8x8 park,
grants that we
maybe,
have
at most.
Yeah.
For parks,
Yeah, I'm sure.
because that's kind of where we got the equipment from on that.
And they could use a park over there too, if
What was
that's their
that?
only park.
Grants,
Oh,
so get
yeah.
some grants.
Yeah,
Okay,
But yeah, no doubt.
we got enough discussion on that particular property, or,
well, gives me something to do and
okay, and the next?
I don't know that there's anything we're
Not much
gonna do
we-
today.
sounds like there isn't
Something
much
to
we
give,
can do. Sounds like there
give
isn't much
works
we
to
can
do
do
in
with
the
it.
fall or in the
Yeah.
spring.
The next part,
What's our,
That was it.
you know, is it?
I think so, wasn't it?
I think there was
Wasn't
supposed
there
to be
four?
one more, yeah.
Oh, what's on that?
I can't, they're all blending together now for me. There they are. Thorson?
Barber,
Is it, did you guys do Thorson?
Lions,
Do we do Thorson?
Forest Creek.
I think we just all kind of, you guys all kind of agreed at the record that
It's fine.
That it's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
That's the
maybe
one with the
wasn't,
circle?
I maybe wasn't here for that meeting.
Cul-de-sac?
'Cause I don't
Yeah.
know which
Oh,
one.
I have
Yeah.
it written down there
Yeah.
somewhere.
One where I said, let's take the 4 feet of land, put a path into the other part.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, yeah, between Thorson and Lent. Or was it Thorson?
Did you guys say it was
and
Northridge?
Thorson and Lynn.
It,
Was that the fourth one, or did you guys already?
Did you do that?
I don't think so, that's probably it.
That's where the hockey rink is.
Oh, yeah,
That's it?
That might be it. I thought I had it written down here somewhere.
Have they talked about that at all?
What, the hockey rink? I heard Dan talking to the guys about it the other day, but I don't know what all the discussion was.
Let's ask them about that.
Probably another 4 weeks now.
What's that?
Probably at least another 4 weeks before you can put one in.
Yeah.
the ground has to be frozen.
Well, that, the fact that it's 41 tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Full snow on Friday.
wow.
Yeah,
It does
it's
not-
usually like January.
Hockey rinks don't,
Yeah.
outside hockey rinks don't do well when the temperature keeps going up.
No, no, of course not.
Up and down.
I just didn't know when they normally put it up.
Yeah, in the tropics.
Was Northridge for
I
sure.
mean, as a kid, I used to be always out ice skating by Christmas, no problem, question asked, but we
Yeah.
seem to be colder.
Back in
Uh-huh.
1973 or what?
So have we established we've
Right around there.
we've hit all the parks?
Northridge,
42.
Northridge.
Northridge?
Okay. Sorry.
Anybody visit Northridge?
Northridge.
And what are your ideas?
It's got a cute little park there. There's some benches there. And the hockey rink.
The rink goes out there.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
There is lighting out
It's been
there
a while
now.
since I've been out there. And they did clean up the volleyball.
Yeah.
That got cleaned up this summer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that the warming house out there? That
There
was
isn't
out there?
one.
No.
It was discussion. It hasn't gone out there yet though.
Yeah, okay. I knew there was some set
It's a
about that,
big
but I
park.
can't remember.
It's a lot of space. That used to be where a garden was, the community garden was there too.
Okay.
We had 2 spots.
The
Yeah.
problem with the warming.
Is there
warming
anything
houses.
else that we have a need for that we could utilize the space in that park for? And I don't know that, I mean, the softball and the baseball, but that's,
Is the
we
wetland
can't
pretty
get it
huge?
over at this point, there's no way to move it somewhere else.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
I'm surprised that a lot of the parks that have wetlands, I mean, we talked about this in one of the parks this past summer though, like putting up some houses out there on the, to encourage,
Mm-hmm. We
growth
mentioned it a little bit.
for migration birds of some sort.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Look at DNR to see what we can do, or we talked about the Boy Scouts maybe doing something like that.
They get actually out there, they get all the geese and they get deer out there.
Right.
Because there is, I'm not sure what kind of condition they're in now, but the Boy Scouts planted apple trees and whatnot out there.
Cool.
And it's also at skate park, there's apple trees out
But
there
you're not
too.
gonna get
I
those
don't remember seeing
Apple
that.
trees?
They think they were, I
migration
just didn't know
birds
if
unless
that's what they were.
there's,
They haven't really,
a lot of
they were
rain.
planted,
Right,
and that was about it,
right.
so.
But it's just something, we got these marshlands out there, it'd be nice to kind of promote, some wildlife and, that type of.
Yeah. Pollinator planting. and
Something,
stuff.
yeah. Something we can take a look at.
Be good, once the plan's updated, it'll be a nice thing to focus on next summer.
Yep,
We can add some things
Yep.
like that.
very good idea. Alrighty then, so other than what we just discussed about Northridge, I guess that's about it, huh?
Nothing
Was-
major to,
We
Are
missed
they
anything
actually
else?
coming?
No.
no.
They're not now?
We changed the date and
Okay.
we didn't make him aware of the date change, which I didn't even think of either. I didn't realize he was gonna be here. Okay.
Good job on the notes, Kayla. Good job. All right, anything else we need to discuss underneath old business on the discussion of the last 4 parks? Kayla, I think you got some notes there, right?
Yep, I got some stuff and I'll keep it going.
All right, old business. Parks and Rec Commission bylaws.
Michelle was not here when we spoke about this last time, so she.
Yeah, did you, I mean, it's been passed and whatever, so.
Yeah, was there anything else you wanted to add about it? No?
No?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Next order of business is community gardens and lease fees. I want to thank Michelle for going out to the communities and grabbing what info she did. And that's in this packet.
For all the community.
I think we had, where we left at was, we had some new wording on one of the sentences, right?
For the gardens?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes.
This is about the removal of stuff at the end of the year.
the removal of vegetation on it.
and then we were looking at discussing fees for rec.
Yep,
Because what I saw was what the total water bill and,
More than what we got.
yeah, so it's basically, we would need to double the fee in order to cover, it probably gives us about a $30 buffer for the whole season, which, next year, prices go up, so I don't know if we want to just double it, or if you guys want to do more than double it, I don't know. But right now, we're coming in about 50%, it's paying for itself by about 50%.
so, and basically, the rest of it is being covered by the city, the rest of the taxpayers.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it should be covered by
by the
Yeah.
people that have.
I would-
people using the water, I mean,
I'll make a motion to double it to 200 total.
and we think that that's a good enough buffer.
mean,
I'd rather raise it once than raise it again next year. Because it
Is,
wasn't-
do we kinda have an idea what
The fee is
the rates are gonna be?
10 lots.
You know
How much they go up.
Yeah.
We were working on a
So
spreadsheet.
it's
That's in
100.
December?
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely gonna go up and it's going
That's
to
not
impact that enough that,
Plus
so right now I
40
believe
by 40.
if you doubled it, we're gonna, like I said, it's $20 now a plot. If we double it to 40, with the rates that they're at right now, it'll cover it by, and we'll have about $30 left over.
So maybe we
That's not a
go
lot
to
of-
50, and that way we don't have to look
I
again
was thinking
next year,
that
be like,
50.
oh, we're raising it again this year,
Yeah.
everybody.
I mean, and that's the information, you know, the water is definitely
was-
going
yeah, I
up,
was-
so
Well, and when's
I
the
would
last,
say
I mean,
that.
how long has it been $20?
I bet you
Since we
forever.
started.
Forever, yeah. So,
Yeah.
I
And we
mean,
can always say, you know, with the water costs, you know.
people I think would understand, you know, well, look,
Right.
the cost of water has gone up.
All right, so the
and-
motion on the table, Eddie said double it,
Well, I'll make the motion for $50.
Okay.
For-
So
That
the
way
motion-
we're safe at least for hopefully a couple of years.
Yeah.
No water to keep going up, that's.
so the motion is to raise the rate to $50. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Vote, Eddie,
Aye.
Toby,
Doesn't even involve me. I don't know why I care. Aye.
Michelle,
No.
Kayla,
Aye.
I vote aye also. The city can't,
I will say one thing.
yeah,
When you're talking about $200 over 12 months,
That's minimal.
when I just saw what my
yeah.
local taxes went out by,
Oh, yeah, yeah, I get it.
I don't use the gardens, but it kind of frustrates me. That's, I don't know.
It's a horse piece.
It frustrates you because the
Right.
city's giving the
But-
water, or?
No, it frustrates me to increase things when our taxes are going where they're going.
Right.
Right, right, but we also have responsibility to the council, you know, they're gonna make the final decision.
Well, and that's why I wonder, what is the purpose of the community gardens? Is it to break even? Is it to lose a little bit of money but provide a service?
I don't think it's any money, yeah, I think it's just a service.
I think it's
We're not trying to
just
make
to
money,
provide
it's,
Community.
Well, so what I'm saying is that it doesn't necessarily need to break even.
No, and I don't think we're in it to make money either, but I also don't think it's right for the
taxpayers to pay.
taxpayers pay it for 20 people that are out there, or
I-
the number of people that are out
But
there.
it's $200.
I see that and agree with it, Dwayne, I know what you're saying, and I agree with it in principle, but that's the same thing as saying the 80-year-old resident that never goes to a park pays taxes for that park.
Would it make, I mean, going off what you're saying, would it make sense to have the deposit and the fees paid at the end of the year when it's all even, or no?
I would say no. I mean, I think that would be harder. I think it's always harder to collect it.
Because then
After
we
the
could break
fact.
even, or you can, or do we do it where it's 50 and then if, let's say, it's the water usage is under the $50, do you refund those people back to make it that way again?
That's a lot of business.
It is, but I'm just
Yeah, it's a
saying,
lot
like,
of-
So I wanna
I'm going on what
Or do
Toby's
you
trying
do
to say here.
$35, so
So-
it's not crazy high, it's still doable, and you're not losing as, you know, I don't know.
So the only person that really has a garden out there is Michelle, right?
I have 2 plots.
Right, so, from your perspective as having gardens out there, do you feel you should cover the water usage? Just
I
take,
don't mind using the water, covering the water usage for the others, even though one of the people that was there was washing their car. So let's put that into perspective on that water usage too.
What?
So.
Goes there to wash the car.
Yeah, one of our garden users was washing their car while the families was weeding.
doesn't surprise
So,
No, the
Um,
family wasn't there, it was just him.
oh, so, you know, I mean, you gotta take that into consideration, and it's a community garden, so,
Right,
you know, it's,
You also
you gotta
take a
give something
deposit
back, a
for it.
little bit of something back. And if you guys kinda look at the stuff I sent you, they're really $36 here for a plot, and everything else is like $20. So, and we just upped ours to 50.
Do we think that it's gone up like that too, maybe because have we added or lost people that are using? I mean, do we have fewer or
I don't
more
know, because
spots
people are
rented?
washing their cars.
I only have
Well, I'm sure that there's some out there that hardly use any water, and like you said, then you've got
Right.
somebody out there that's washing their car.
Well, it
so
depends upon
it's-
the, season too, if we get a lot
Yes,
of rain.
absolutely.
Yeah, if it's dry.
It absolutely depends on the season.
I only have a couple years
Well,
experience,
St.
but when I
Michael's
look,
does
it
theirs.
looks like it's the same people
St.
every
Michael's
year.
is $50.
Yep, and
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't go off of Buffalo.
$20 is
Do we
down
have-
on all.
Do we have one for Waverly?
No, they don't have one.
Well, they don't have one.
I just Googled.
The reason I
like,
bring that up is because water costs, the difference between here and Buffalo, I'm sure is big.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, they're way more expensive out there.
All right, so we voted on a motion to raise to 50, and we voted on it and it passed. Are we good with that, or do we want to do something different? Modify it?
I mean, $50 for a season for watering your garden, I have to water my garden, it's gonna cost me way more than that. I mean,
I was good at 40, but you guys.
I just think as somebody that's using a piece of land that belongs to the city and they're using the city's water, they assume they would have to pay for it.
Right, I agree.
I will say, and I'll just put this out there, there have been 3 people that have with the exclusion of you, have said, hey, and they've signed up for next year, and I said, I'm not gonna collect your money yet, because they are talking about changing the rates because everything's going up, and they're like, that sounds good. So I haven't gotten any pushback,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah,
I think
totally.
Michelle makes a good point that there are some variables in here where it's like, 25 for a small, 50 for a big, I don't know, maybe you do 25 for one, 40 for two, if you have two, because if you've got 2 plots and then you're trying to pay $100, that might not be a lot for somebody, but for somebody, it might, I don't know, but I'm just trying to it looks like there's options here, so maybe we try to look at it that way a little bit. I don't know.
And we also have to take into consideration the deposit fee that we put out there.
Yeah, 'cause
So
that's
everybody's
a different
$100
cost, yeah.
is a deposit
Okay.
to have that garden.
So
But
could we lower the deposit fee and let,
you can do
allow
whatever
it?
you want, because we don't,
We never
we're
collect
not making the people accountable for, we haven't collected that money, even though the plots, some of them are terrible.
It's not
So-
cash they're bringing in.
Some are.
Oh, we,
Well, maybe it is.
yeah, we put in a lot out there, so,
No, I mean cash,
oh,
for the $100 deposit.
right.
So what do we want to do?
I mean, 'cause
I think going from 20 and raising it 250% is a good start. Just saying.
and like I said, and if you look at the plots
But
that
it's
are out
never
there.
been.
I understand that, but that doesn't mean we have to overcorrect.
That's why I
No, but
said
it should have
double.
been changed over the years, obviously didn't. All right, so what do we consider reasonable? 40?
I don't know, the plots that are out there, there's 2, maybe 3 plots that are out there that should not have even gotten a deposit back. And that would have covered you $200.
Yep.
So,
But what's fair going forward, like?
Well, I was on board to collect and make them pay at that $100. Give them back $100 at last time, but nobody else would.
yeah, so,
Last time when we talked about this, I wanted, if they're good, give them their deposit back and make them pay it, then make them more accountable.
But I thought we only had one garden out there that was questionable and we were gonna make a phone call.
It doesn't matter
I thought
though.
the whole purpose
You-
was actually to keep the deposits of the people that are offending, not give back anybody's deposits. We weren't talking about in between seasons. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I wouldn't give back anybody's deposit because if they're renewing in November, now it's a bunch of back and forth that you have to do here at the city for no
But-
reason.
but if they didn't clean up their spot
Then I
right
would take
now.
their deposit.
Right,
Well, yeah, that's
right,
what,
and we didn't do that this year to anybody.
We did not return his deposit,
Right,
so we haven't given him his deposit back.
but didn't he
Did he renew?
renew?
He hasn't done anything yet, because we haven't, he wants it, but we haven't given him his
Except we
deposit back.
haven't taken any money yet.
What about the other family?
Only one person has picked up their deposit, and that was a family that was brand new out there this year, and they're not coming back next year.
Okay.
So that's the only family that has picked up a deposit, and I think that was a check.
And
She
I-
seemed really disappointed when she remembered she wrote me a check. She was like,
Oh, so
I'm like,
I'm
I know,
gonna
I'm sorry, girl. So,
I
Yeah.
would say this, wherever the offenders are, have the hard and fast rule that they're just not allowed back, and we keep their deposit. But if they want to renew, they're gonna pay a new deposit. And we're gonna keep the other
And we cash the
deposit.
old one.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah,
my
that's-
suggestion.
That seems like the whole
Yep.
point of the deposit, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're going to put that out there and then not act on it, it's toothless.
100%.
But the city has to be the enforcement arm of that.
Right.
Public Works.
Yeah, November 1 is usually when they go out and check and see, and
And I think we talked about doing a checklist so that they know what to
Yeah.
do,
Right.
what they're supposed to look
Good
for.
luck cleaning it up now.
Well, they're not gonna do that.
So is that what you want to do then, is if you keep your deposit, you have to pay another deposit?
If we allow them back, they have to pay a new deposit.
100% they have to if we,
Doesn't it say in the laws that they're not allowed back if they?
I do believe it does.
it does.
It does.
I do believe it does.
So is it your guys', is it your decision then that those deposits are gonna cover the extra water? Or is this just separate from
That
that?
should be separate.
Okay, I'm just trying, it just.
Because really, that's destruction of land is what it is. Not really bad destruction, but destruction.
So we got a couple things going on here.
Yeah,
Deposits and,
Just gonna jump.
So, well,
Yeah. so let's go back to the motion. So the motion was for $50.
Well,
And
my
it passed.
original
Do we
motion,
want to modify that?
my original motion was $40, but,
Well,
you're gonna
then
have to rescind it and redo it.
you have to rescind the motion.
all right, I'll rescind my motion and make the motion to make it $40.
Okay.
I didn't know
Any
that.
discussion?
Yeah,
Do I hear a
'cause the motion was
second?
made in the past. I saw how you were doing
Well, I think it's aggressive. I don't disagree.
That second motion?
No, I didn't second it. He said any more discussion?
Okay. Yep,
And I
okay,
said, well, I think it's aggressive, I don't disagree.
okay. Do I hear a second on the motion and then we,
I'll
it. Are we
sec,
on the 40?
Yeah.
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
40.
Okay, I will second it.
okay. Discussion?
We have to discuss now.
Yeah, you're the one to discuss.
Already did.
All right, Eddie?
Aye.
Toby?
Aye.
Michelle?
Aye.
Aye.
Dwayne, aye. Motion passes. And then the
Actually,
deposit?
I have to actually
Get those
abstain
staying.
from that because I have garden plot out there.
Okay,
So
okay,
it'd be 4.
okay,
401.
okay.
Yeah.
okay.
Fair enough, good catch, thank you.
Can you second the motion though?
Yeah, she
I can't, I
seconded
just
it.
can't,
You just
I
can't
just
vote.
can't vote really.
The deposits, do we want to talk about that tonight, or do we, and then how that's supposed to be utilized, or the ones that are kept, do we want to deal with that tonight, or do we want to table it and deal with it next month, meaning we got a lot of stuff to cover yet?
Well, I would guess the rule is.
Well, what's
it goes
the-
back-
I mean,
it goes back to
that's
the
already in
general
the-
fund, right?
You okay?
So it's really about talking to Public Works to enforce it.
Okay, all right,
So it's not really a new rule, it's just enforcing the rule.
okay.
Will
we-
Public Works
I think we
be
had a question.
cleaning that
Is-
garden?
is
then?
the-
Technically, you
I will
can,
check with Dan.
Is the
technically she can.
other than the verbiage we had last time, is the document we have, is it a good document, or do we want to table it and then review what Michelle brought us?
For what?
The rules and regs out there.
I think we had kind of decided that most of the stuff that we had was fine. I remember in the minutes here, we were wondering if we were gonna allow those that are renewing their plot for the next year to leave things like fabric and plastic on the plot over the winter.
So,
If they had done no-till, some kind of no-till stuff. So we still haven't answered that question if we're gonna make that change to the document. That's one specific thing at least that.
I thought you guys had voted to change that verbiage,
yes.
and so I'm gonna change it, but I wasn't gonna change this until you guys decided on the monetary part of it, and then we could change the whole
I
thing.
think we talked about the biological part. We didn't talk about other debris, if there was other things that we were gonna allow them. We hadn't decided.
Okay,
So are we gonna allow that guy back? Since we did technically take it, that should be talked about technically, right?
Honestly, I think you should allow him back. He's been there for many years, but the last Public Works Director and that person had a deal that city was not involved in, and the last Public Works Director let him have his stuff there and not take it down until the next spring. And this year, because of lack of somebody doing something to enforce the rules, I'm not pointing fingers.
No.
I'm just saying there wasn't an enforcement and he was told he was fine.
Right.
But I don't believe he should get his deposit back for this year, but I would give him another chance. He's an amazing gardener. He does great things down there. He just was under a different assumption.
Is this the same gentleman who didn't remove the plant debris and stuff that?
Yeah,
there were issues with the bugs?
because the last
I
Public
just
Works
wasn't sure if
Director
it was the
wasn't
same.
in making him. They had a deal where he didn't have to.
He did tell me that, because I
Yep.
had a very long conversation with him.
So I don't
So
blame him
And he
for
did say,
this.
I had an agreement, and I said, I can't attest to that, I wasn't there, but I just have to follow the rules. This is what it is, this is what needs to
So
be done.
maybe we put in there, since we're a small town, I don't know how many people are actually interested in doing the gardening, if there's a lot out there.
It's unusual if it sells out. If it
May-
sells out, it's unusual.
Maybe we should put in there some sort of warning in taking your deposit, but if it happens again, you won't be allowed back.
Suspended?
Or,
That is
yeah,
in there right now.
or suspend it.
But
No,
if nobody's ever enforced
no,
it.
we're gonna say a warning, and they can
That is
come back next.
Really where I came to a hard point with this gentleman, is that it had never been enforced.
Yeah,
And I felt like he was very blindsided, and I felt
Right.
really bad
No,
about
so
that.
like,
We had given him
what I'm
mixed
saying,
And
give
if
them,
that's the case, then give back his deposit, but make sure we put it on record that we
Give him a warning.
messages.
he can come
This
back,
is the contract.
but if it
Don't
ha,
give up.
And it will be.
if it happens again, then
Can tell
he's
them.
suspended for a year or so long.
Following year? Make it like a 1 year?
Make sure
Yeah.
you wear headphones when you're gardening to respect the others.
Well, I
What
mean,
the hell?
obviously.
Could we do something like that, maybe? What do you guys, what's your thoughts on that, doing something like that? Taking the deposit, giving them a warning, letting them come back if
No,
they've been there for a while.
I would say this, if it has never been enforced where we've taken somebody's deposit or done anything, and this has gone on for multiple years,
Tough.
it is pretty tough to take his deposit.
This year.
Yeah.
Well,
this
Yeah.
particular
Just let him
case-
know that we are gonna be enforcing this stuff,
Right, we're a
so.
new,
Subsequent years.
Right.
we're a new
You're not doing
commission,
this?
new people, we gotta do something to keep things in, people accountable and make things look good.
And let's be
Right?
honest, we're not taking deposits to make money.
No, that's not the point though.
Yep.
The-
No, I know, it's a deterrent, that's what I'm saying.
The deposit has nothing, it has nothing to do with money, it's about keeping.
Accountability.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah,
Principle.
so where you guys are okay with his, because I obviously wasn't gonna return anything until I talked to you guys.
It's never
So-
been enforced, you can't hold him responsible.
I know, and I felt really bad about that, but I also was
Right.
like, it's not my decision to
Right.
give this back.
but going forward, we should put something in there.
Right.
It's already there, it's just gotta be enforced.
It's just
Just
gotta
gotta
be
be
enforceable.
enforced.
Right, but I'm saying not necessarily kick them out on first offense.
No, I agree, that's what I said.
Well, you don't wanna tell everybody they're gonna get a warning though.
I wouldn't kick him out just because he was under a different assumption. From now on, though, I would.
I don't
if they
think, do you think we
follow
should
it.
change it and say that you'll get a warning before
No.
you get kicked out? Is that what you're saying?
I think here's what's gotta happen. Basically, Public Works gotta do their job and enforce the original document. And then regroup, and then think about it again. How we want it.
If there's issues,
Right.
we'll have to deal
So
with.
give all deposits
Or,
back.
or if it's,
Um.
if there's some sort of issue, we vote on it or something, and see, make the recommendation.
Do you want to add that at the bottom here where it says, cash deposits will not be refunded and the garden resident will no longer be able to rent a garden plot with the city of Montrose? Do you want to change that to, will only be rented by, or rented to again with the discretion of the Park and Rec Board? And then you guys can do it by case basis, based on how long they've been there, if they were,
But
you
the
know.
city's accepted the application, correct?
Yes,
So would it not be up to the city?
But they go off our recommendation for it.
No, they go off our recommendations on the bylaws, on governing, changing the
But for that
bylaws.
too, right?
but if you add in here that you guys can address it on a case-by-case basis, right? Because what if you guys have had 8 complaints from that renter?
Right,
And what if you haven't had any, and it was just an oversight, you know what I mean, you might react, you know, if you have a
Correct.
kid who gets in trouble every day, you're gonna treat him
Correct.
different than somebody who makes a mistake once, right?
Correct.
So maybe you want to change that so there's a little, like in this case, right, there's a little give and take, so you guys have some discretion in saying who can be there and who can't.
Yeah, I would 100% do that.
Okay, all right,
And then
I like-
it's still 5 of you or 7 of you making that decision. It's still
correct.
multiple people making that decision.
What about the one garden that, the dirt was dug out of the center and put around the edges? It literally is down. It's
Which one
garden-
is that? Which number?
Garden number 3.
So that would be,
But if you were out there, the edges are this much higher, and whoever is to get that garden next is going to have to do a major fix on that garden.
Did they renew it? They need to renew it. No.
So not say that they gotta leave it how they got it in the first place?
it does. You know, I guess the only thing I can say is I don't think that there's been a lot of enforcement out there.
None.
So I think that, I can't say that what hasn't been done is malicious, because I think it's kind of been like,
Right.
what's the norm? So
Right.
I think it's kind of like, these are new rules, hard and fast, will be enforced.
And we kind
That
of
type
need
of
to
thing.
set a new precedent to
Mhm.
keep things,
I think when the
what do you say, status quo
Right.
maybe?
new growing season come up, there should be, there should be a focus on that, the bylaws are, that it will be enforced by Public Works.
New application,
Yeah.
new bylaws, and
Yeah.
kind of explain, like, some of the rules have changed, these are gonna be enforced.
Right.
They haven't always historically, we understand that.
Right.
Maybe you wanna
So
read through the
moving
terms.
forward, starting in the summer, blah, 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 so that way they're not blindsided, and they can decide if they want to participate or not.
Absolutely,
That'd be the best way.
yeah.
Do you agree on that,
Yes.
Toby?
When we had it at Northwood,
Yes.
it was enforced.
Was it?
Yeah.
All right, so we got the $40 done, we got the verbiage done.
Yeah, I don't
Sean
think there's
always
actually-
enforces
So we have to make a motion for that?
For the verbiage?
Yes. 'cause you-
So are we talking about adding it in that we're gonna look at it on a case by case basis?
No, we're not gonna say case by case, what was the
What are
word
we
you
gonna
used?
say?
I think I said, like, if you're gonna be able to come back and it would be subject to review by the Park and Rec Board.
And then the recommendation would have to come off, would have to come from the park, or the Public Works, saying, hey, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
They'd have to notify
Or if the
us.
city has gotten complaints about it, we can report that to you guys, and then you guys can take all that information and make your decision.
Right, and then make a recommendation to, okay.
Yeah, 'cause
Do we wanna become the policing board on this?
No, it's gotta go,
And again, it's hard because I think a lot of this has been done because it's been allowed, not necessarily because it's like.
Well, and that's kind of what I think that with what's in there,
it's good.
yes, it says you're not gonna be allowed to come back. If something happens, they come to us, they say, hey, I really wanna be able to rent again, will you think about, then we can deal with it on that kind of a basis.
But we gotta add that in? Like,
No.
It's already there.
No, it says you will not be allowed.
Right, but if we wanna go on case by case basis, we gotta change the verbiage.
I mean,
I
is
think
this,
what she's
a
saying, why do we
law?
wanna
This
do
isn't a
that?
law. I mean, it just says,
Right.
it's telling them, do your
These are
job,
guidelines.
clean it up, or you're not gonna be able to come back.
Right.
And we could say, hey, there was a little bit of misunderstanding, like, we're gonna give you one more chance this
Right.
year, make sure you clean your stuff up this
Right.
year.
The main thing is, before the next growing season, they need to know that these
Yes.
rules will be
Right.
enforced.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
We
really all it
understand
is.
they haven't been, but they will be now.
Right.
That's really all it is,
The
yeah.
term in the military is called KISS, keep it simple and stupid.
Yeah,
So let's just do that in this particular situation.
Simple.
Keep it simple.
kiss it simple.
You like that? I'm gonna wash my car over there now. Car wash.
Dwayne just learned about a free car
I'm
wash
just
in
waiting for
town.
Michelle to go, when she's gonna be out there with the garden, so I'm gonna ask her to help wipe off my bumpers out there. Wash the bugs off the grill. All right. Any further discussion on that, or, so we got the $40 done, right?
Yeah.
We review the rules from other local cities. I mean, I'm looking at it, and I think, our documents, we read through, Michelle, what you brought here, our document, I mean, I think we got stuff pretty good covered. I mean, it's still gonna be a work in progress, but, I mean, I think it's a good solid document.
The only thing I'm gonna ask about is, under registration, item number 1. Montrose residents only. Do we allow, like, we have the trailer parks that are around, that have no space for gardens? Do we
Thought I saw one
allow?
out there.
Huh?
But are we talking about the one between here and Waverly? I believe I
They're
saw
paying
gardens
for
out
it.
there last year.
Yeah, there is on that back.
I don't
half.
go in there, but I thought I saw it on the road.
Right. So, I don't know. I know that you had some people wanting to get in there
There was
from
a-
outside of town.
Yeah, there was one, maybe two people that requested to be, to have a plot.
Mhm.
And they were from out of the city, do you happen to
Within
know
the
why or where?
townships.
They just
I don't know where
didn't
they
have a
were.
spot out where they were?
Yeah, I didn't even ask, I just,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm just,
I think I got them all signed up and then I'm like,
Are they paying property taxes to the city?
Does it matter?
You're
They're
good.
paying
I'm
for
just,
that.
I'm just asking.
Well, the reason I would say it doesn't
Just
matter for that
asking.
though is
Because they're
because
paying.
they are paying
They're
to
paying
take
for
it
the
from
spot.
plot.
service.
Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
what I thought.
I don't
too.
see why that wouldn't be a problem.
Mhm.
I don't,
They're paying rent on it
Okay.
Yeah, renting a plot, it'd be like
So-
renting a storage.
from the
unit
city,
somewhere.
yeah.
in the city, you
So,
don't live in, yeah.
Make a motion to
I mean, if
change
you,
that.
you know, if you
Maybe
were
just
if
say
you're that
Montrose
concerned about
area.
it, you could have a resident fee and a
Resident.
non-resident fee. If that's what you were
You
more
could do
concerned
that.
about. You
Well,
know,
that's a good idea.
That's where we'll get the extra water.
We're gonna blame,
Yeah, the-
we're gonna blame him. Well, that's a
I
good
mean, I
idea.
think it, I don't see it.
You're gonna want a flat
People
fee
from the
just for-
trailer park or
Yeah.
people who live, you know, in a little
Purposes.
house
Yeah.
somewhere that wanna have a
Make
fun
it
up
more
there.
difficult for Christie.
Okay, so I'm gonna change the date, that the registration will be available November 5th. I think we said November 2nd, but I'm gonna give us time to enforce those rules. So November 5th, so the people that already had a plot can do it again.
Okay.
I'm gonna change it that says that it's not for residents, it's just there. We're gonna talk about the fact that they cannot leave anything there, anything.
Any-
Cardboard, fences, anything like that.
Vegetation.
Returned to how it was
Right.
when you found it.
How you found it, how you inherited it, that's how you gotta leave it.
We're gonna leave the last page, the garden closing date, we're gonna leave it as is, and you guys will enforce it based on case per case.
So
It's
then,
not like there's 80 people out there. There's
No.
just
I wouldn't say
little
enforce it, we will review it. Review is a better word, because we're not an enforcement arm. The city is, Public Works Director is.
We'll be able to.
The city will enforce it.
Right.
Do I have the
Ci-
point?
City will enforce. It's the responsibility of the Public Works Director to get out there, take a look at it, report back to the Park and Rec Commission, whatever.
If there's issues, yeah.
Okay, so closing, garden closing date. It says target date for closing is November 1st. Gardeners must remove all materials and completely clear plot of any vegetation, growth, or a $100 cash deposit will not be refunded, and the garden resident will no longer be able to rent a garden plot with the city of Montrose. Do you want me to put little parentheses, subject to review? Something like that, that leaves a little wiggle room if you guys want to allow them back.
Yeah,
that works.
That's right. Also, I think you should add where you have clear plot of any vegetation growth and return, something about returning it to its
Natural.
original state,
Original state.
so that we don't have an issue, like she said, where they're taking
did,
out, cleared out.
did the other gardens, the other cities, do they have a resident and non-resident fee? I didn't see anything like
I
that.
don't think so.
I think you go for every 1/10 of a mile, we have $4.64.
Is that popcorn gone already?
Or we want 5 quarts of tomatoes or something.
Okay, and.
Yeah, and the more vegetables you bring up to the city.
Yeah, produce stand out
You
front.
go to hundreds,
Christie
or
accepts
thousands of
vegetable
pennies.
bribes.
No, I'm okay with
Like a gas
non-residents
station.
coming in, and
Okay.
rent it at the same price, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's since we raised it to cover it.
Yep.
It covers what's needed.
All right, so Michelle, you want to change that
Yeah, I think she's putting it in
wording?
there.
Okay.
Well, then we're gonna make
Christie's gonna make
motion
all
it.
the.
Wanna
Are
make
we
a
gonna
on that?
motion just all the changes as one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
Okay,
I think we're done, right?
yep.
Yeah. So I'll make a motion then to change all the rules as to what Christie just said. So,
Scary.
Mumble jumble.
Yeah.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Eddie?
Aye.
Toby?
Aye.
Michelle?
Aye.
Caleb?
Aye.
I vote aye also.
I will bring this to the next meeting and have you guys all review it before we're set in stone, just to make sure that you guys are all okay with it.
Good job, Michelle, on collecting those. Appreciate that. Saved me a little legwork. Next item on the agenda underneath old business is how to deplete remaining funds for 2022 prior to the year end. Seems to me we had 800?
829.68.
It's in here somewhere.
68.
Right.
Sounds like a good way.
Made it small enough for this one piece of paper.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I know, it's like, boom.
Probably right, you're probably right.
Any ideas? Commissioners, any ideas on how you want to, I know there were some ideas about Easter eggs.
Well, I think we had
Yeah.
talked about pre-purchasing gift cards to use at Walmart.
Yep.
For
Right.
candy
For
come
candy and
Easter time.
Okay,
I noticed when I was going through, there was something that we needed some new signage for one of the parks for, I think for Forest Creek out in Breckenridge, or on Clementa.
That would
Is
not come
that-
out of this fund.
That's what I was gonna ask, does that come out of the city or is that come out of the
City works.
This fund is not just for Parks and Rec. This comes out of if they are, like, they did the, when they do the parade and they have the royalty parade, there was upgrades and some mechanical stuff that needed to be fixed this year, that comes out of the recreation fund. So
Okay, so this is the
so other things come out of this fund, but also know that if there's something that you guys want to do, it's not like, oh, we spent our money and
Right.
you can always still ask the council for
Yes.
more money to do
Right.
something. You know, it's not like hard and fast, you're done. But I do think that if you have it,
should at
and you
least
and you think
try to
you know, if there's
take
a
a
place
look at
to put it, you know, don't spend it on nothing, but if you have a place to put it, use it.
Well, the thing is too, is that if you have nothing you need at the moment, but you know you'll need in the future, gift cards are a great way to spend
Easy.
that money for future.
does anybody have any ideas, Michelle? I mean, you've been kind of,
I always have ideas how to spend money.
huh?
I always have ideas how to spend money.
What are your ideas?
Well, I mean, what's the budget for next year?
They
We
haven't
haven't got
said
it
it for
yet.
sure. I think it's,
Did they keep it at the 4?
I think that's what was suggested. But it has not been finalized, but I think that's what was suggested.
What was 4,000 last year?
Yeah, they'll make the decision in December. what they're gonna
And we can always go back and ask for more. What,
Right.
what are your ideas?
Well, I don't know, if there's, well, there will be a town celebration. In the past, we've done a, like a coin hunt kind of deal. So Park and Rec put in, what do we do?
Oh, the medallion.
Prize money.
No, no, not the medallion, the celebration did that. So, 2 different years, I had different amounts of money, coins that we hide in sand, or whatever.
Corn or whatever.
Corn, yeah, whatever.
Coins like, just like quarters, like dollar
Quarters, nickel,
coins?
dimes, and you have like certain age groups, and the kids go and they get to dig it out.
Oh,
that
okay,
kind of
gotcha.
thing.
Yep.
So we put, like, I think we had $500, and we split it up into 3 different age groups. So if you guys wanna think
Oh,
about
kinda
something like that, or.
Kinda like a dinosaur dig for
Needle in the
ball
haystack. kind
type
of.
of deal.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Like at like Montrose Days or like at the celebration, okay.
yeah, yep, and we did it in the area where the horseshoe pits are, and then we just took all that sand and dumped it into the horseshoe pits. So, got the sand donated from Landscape, they said that.
Okay,
So, I don't
Okay.
know if there's something like that, or we guys,
That's also hard cash 8 months after our budget expires for this particular money.
Mhm. So,
And I'm assuming we can't roll it over.
just this,
So
such a
what-
short time limit here, it's just, it's,
Yeah, and it's, I mean, $800 is a lot of money to buy gift cards for candy.
mhm.
I think we spent about $700 or $800
Is
on
it?
candy last year.
Well,
maybe
because
it's
you
not.
had-
Or maybe it was, yeah, I mean, it was a lot.
Yeah.
There's
Maybe it's not that
6,000
much.
eggs.
Mhm.
Tell you it was not enough eggs.
We did buy 1,000
Remember, we had
extra.
that discussion.
It was 5,000 last year, we bought an extra 1,000 this year.
Well, then, so you'll end up needing
So, I
more.
mean, $900
It's
is
really not
not,
that much
it's gonna
then.
be whoosh with candy pretty quick.
So we'll just throw it all on a gift card and save it for
For candy.
candy and future events.
March.
For anything, right? I mean, you
Right.
could use it for
Okay.
anything.
Well, and if we know we're gonna, well, yeah, we know we're gonna use it for the candy, then the
Yeah,
money that we
get
would
one
have to
big
use for
Visa
that
gift
next year,
card.
yeah, for something
get a
else.
gift card, Visa gift card or something?
So, yeah, I'll make the motion, get a gift card and put the money on the gift card, all of it on one gift card, or, you know, or you have to do several,
To
whatever,
support future,
to support future
Future
events.
events.
and-
okay?
Is there a preference on where we do that? Is it more like you want to buy from
I
think
from
it's gonna be-
grocer versus Walmart, or?
Visa.
Visa,
just
then we can
Visa.
put it anywhere. All right, so Eddie made a motion, do I hear a second?
I'll second that. Oh.
I
Toby, you can do it. You haven't seconded anything yet.
know.
I know, Toby was too busy eating popcorn, I think, hey, you're too much out of him tonight.
I'll second the motion.
Okay.
And if they ask for, if there's like like what is this going for, I'll just reference Easter.
Yeah,
Right.
Easter candy.
Any discussion on the matter?
Let's see, Ed?
I would say that puts us ahead for Easter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't come out of next year's budget. as well.
Vote,
Yeah.
Eddie?
Aye.
Toby?
Aye.
Michelle?
Aye.
Aye.
Do I vote yes also? Motion
Good
carries.
deal. Done. Done.
And now we're poor.
Nuh-uh, we have a Visa gift card.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Not yet, we don't.
Cash money, baby.
Yeah, cash money, homie.
All right, next item is, I'm gonna keep this moving along here, is Halloween decorating and city council meeting.
Present those on the.
Are we gonna present it like this?
I'm assuming there's gonna be a color.
Oh, look,
These are
oh, here we
We
go.
got- are
Don't
gonna
you
put-
have the trophies?
There's one trophy. There's just one trophy for the first
For the
winner.
first place.
Yeah,
Can we
I
frame it?
called Brian Tuesday, he goes, we're done by the end of the day, and I was not driving here yesterday or today. So we'll have it before, I'll make sure I have it before the council meeting and give
Can we
it to you
see
that
those?
day.
Are
Yep.
you gonna frame them, or what are you gonna do here?
We put them in like a
Honestly,
little
I'm
document
gonna get the little
frame. We
pocket
can take a
ones.
little
Yeah.
out of our $900 candy fund and put a frame on
Can
it.
we make this a little more Halloweeny?
Sure.
Ooh.
My question on that is
Who's your designer?
if you put
I
a
can't
frame
say.
on it,
How is it not laminated?
I don't know, can you believe that? I really dropped the ball.
if you're gonna put a frame on it, are you gonna do that every year from here on?
I mean, a
That's-
dollar
I'm just
frame.
questioning
A
that.
dollar
Put it in a
frame,
blindfold
$1.
folder, you know, I mean, they had some different things out there.
I don't
Chrissy would
disagree
love
that it
to
doesn't
laminate
deserve
it.
that stuff, but you were
She loves
saying.
laminated.
Yeah, they should be at least laminated or something.
I think you ought to put them in a cheap ass little. I mean, just like a basic.
So are you going to
Frame.
Dollar General and?
That's what I figured.
That's
That's why you gotta fight your way through that.
That's how we could spend $2 of our $800.
It'd be nice if we had it in a frame.
They're
Yeah, it was-
$1.25 now.
The ones I've seen have been like a blindfold folder, you know, and they got it, you know, pretty fancy and stuff. I think we should do something.
Something, well, if they put it in a frame, they can hang it on their wall.
Yeah, I agree. I'll even, like, everybody brings them in my own pocket
Right,
for that.
document frame. Oh, yeah, we gotta add some Halloween to this. Let me know if you need help with that, Kristen.
Sounds like she did.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's
So you're gonna read
That's a
this?
one and done
Do you
project.
want to,
Laminator at home.
I'm not laminating.
do you want to just get ahead of it and do the Christmas one for the next one?
Might as well do it the same.
Gotta make it Christmas.
Just
All right.
trade out the pumpkin for a hot.
Truly, I'll buy 4 frames, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
we're gonna do the same thing for Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
We're going big.
You know this.
Yes. Okay, so who's,
I want it,
obviously Dwayne's gonna be there.
right, so I want to encourage everyone to attend this meeting and for, at least for the presentation. That would be nice for us to support. Because the whole idea was the mayor was to choose a winner, number one, or announce a winner. Number two, recognize the other two. But, you know, we took this baby from beginning to the end. So let's finish it.
It's our big coming out party.
Okay, so when is that? Is on the 12th?
Yes.
What time is that meeting at?
7. So if you're there by
Hopefully
7:20.
we'll be on the agenda where there isn't a bunch of people ahead of us
Right.
talking about water meters.
Water
and
meters.
malfunction.
That's always at the end.
That's at the end.
Well, that one time,
That was about 2/3 of the meeting.
yeah, 2/3 of me. All right, so, I'm gonna be there.
I'll be
Eddie,
there.
you okay, Kayla, Michelle, will be there. Michelle's always there. Toby, can you make
It
it?
looks like I'm open.
All right,
I don't know.
No hockey?
Ken?
I don't know.
Well, it's a Monday,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, if you can make it, make it.
Okay.
I would appreciate it, how about that? But I think it'd be good, we'll get our name out there, and it's something that we've, like I said, we took it from the beginning, and we'll finish it up.
You've
So,
spoken with them and they know that they're coming to get it.
right,
That's
the
their
mayor,
term,
mayor
that's
can
why.
present an award. and-
2 weeks?
Yep.
Less than
Okay, I'll try it.
Is there a signature line on that certificate? I didn't see that.
Yes, yes.
Yep.
That's for you, bud.
No, it could be the mayor. We'll give it to
This is
the mayor.
presenter's name and
It's
title.
usually the chair.
Dwayne.
That's you, bud.
Yep.
All right, that's
You.
fine.
Work on your
Parks and
handwriting.
Rec.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, boy. All right.
All right, so we talked about that. New business, regional park, soil board samples. I understand that because we changed the date, the individual could not be here.
He said he will give a more detailed account of this at the council meeting on the 12th as well, so if there's, you know, so you guys will hear more about that, just kind of a caveat there.
So he said where the tennis courts would work?
That's where he said it would.
Yeah, where we picked, he said yes.
Based on.
That'd be okay.
Excavator.
That'd be okay.
Excavator
That'd be okay. Fine.
Well, the nice thing is, it's a savings of $45,000 on soil preparation
Yeah, you're not the one that had a glass for that, some of that.
compared to the previous.
Yeah.
Do I recall correctly that there was, Justin thought that if we were to simply build a shelter with no restrooms, that the DNR would not go for that. It was something that had to have.
It-
Yeah.
And have restrooms.
Okay.
Right, as long as we're making progress is what I understand. And I think we also, did the council instruct him to go back, the guy who did the grant?
I think they put a pause on that until they got these back. to see
Okay,
if it
and
was
then they were gonna
even
ask for an
possible.
extension.
Mhm.
But it seems to me, from previous council meetings and presentations he's done, as long as we're showing progress and moving the right direction, I think this is still
Well, there's only so much time still.
right. But, you know, based upon who knows, with the budget for 2023 with the city and everything, who knows? I mean, they can put a kibosh to it.
I'm assuming it'll be higher.
Usually it'll be what?
Higher.
Well, I saw a line item
Just
that
slightly
said something
sarcastic.
about recreation. They went up like
Negative.
500% or something like that.
So anyway, that's kind of what
Oh,
I
I-
see there. So it looks like we've done our job, now it's just for him to do his presentation to the city. Is there anything you want me to bring in front of the council on this? Or are we just good to go?
Well, now we gotta, what, reevaluate prices?
There's no reevaluation, the building still costs what it costs.
Right.
Which is more
Right.
than,
Which is probably more by now.
Oh, yeah. It's got it.
Right.
So that's what I'm
I'm
saying.
sure it's $950 by now.
but we're not gonna ask them to redraw anything.
No.
No.
Just start
I
building
think we just-
our bill up more and
It's
more.
the same building, but looks like you saved 45 grand on
The compacting of the
Right.
soil.
the soil.
Because believe it or not, the soil turned out to be better than we anticipated, is that what
Right,
this
yeah.
means? Who'd think that, no?
No,
Yeah. So I think we just,
I believe that's the same still sitting there.
so I think we get left out there picking that location up.
Yeah.
That's good.
Probably was longer.
All right, any further discussion on that?
Is there really anything else that we need to discuss about it?
I mean, it's up to the council to decide how they want to proceed, so.
Either way, we gotta, if we want the thing from, or the, what, grant, that's it. We got to have a bathroom in there, so we gotta figure out what we 100% wanna do.
Well, we
Well,
already
we did,
did. We already did. We already proposed it.
yeah.
It's already done, or what our budget is for that and what.
So I think we have to wait for the city to decide.
Just wait to see.
Yeah, everything's been decided over here.
All right,
All right, where's our next?
moving on to the next item, review of social media policy.
Anything in particular?
That we're discussing on this matter?
I did have one thing, because it was brought to my attention. When any of us are posting, not personal items, but things on well, mostly Facebook, that pertain to city policies and different going-ons. I'm still looking for this thing here.
You have to put the little,
It's right at the end.
We
It's like
need to
the-
have the disclaimer.
yep,
Because personally, and once it was brought to my attention, I started to see it a bit more. I think we should be the last one slinging mud at the city.
oh yeah.
I agree.
And I personally won't put up with that on the commission, just because I think it's disrespectful to the commission. So, I think we need to be very careful about that. I like to have fun and post different things and read different things, especially on Montrose unedited or uncensored. But we have to be careful who we're posting because we are representing the city.
And
And that's why that policy is
And
there.
that's why that policy was in place. And I
Correct.
thought it was pretty clear when we all signed that document that everybody understood it.
I agree.
So let me just reinforce, I would encourage everyone to go back and read that, right? And don't be putting anything out there that's negatory against the city or the commission, because it's gonna come back and bite you.
And we don't know how people interpret things, like
Right.
how you say it, well, it's like, well, I didn't mean it that way, it's like, but somebody else might interpret that differently.
Yes.
We need to be sensitive to that.
Right.
And so it's like, I didn't mean it that way, that might be very true.
Right.
But somebody might take that differently
Right,
and then they
right,
feel,
right.
that's not, we don't want that.
Right. First of all, you're not a city employee, number one. And number two, any type of reflection that you talk about the city or represent the city in a non-capacity, if you're not a full-time employee or whatever, it's illegal as hell. So don't be slam dunking the mayor, the council, other commissioners. I mean, you all signed on to represent and work for the city and the betterment of for the residents.
If you have questions about how things are done around the city, you can bring that up to council at the council meeting, that'd be the proper place to do
Yep.
it.
Have no problem.
And while other citizens and non-citizens can literally say whatever they want, we
Right.
don't need to be the ones fueling that fire.
Right, right,
So that's really all I have there.
right. One more thing I want to say also is that we have two support people, in Christie and in Kayla. I want to protect, this is how I want to say this. They actually do a pretty good job supporting us. So any extra added stuff, I'd like to try to keep to a minimum, number one. And number two, this kind of goes back a couple months ago. And I forgot to bring it up. If you have a problem with city staff, for instance, right, you don't like them doing a particular thing or whatever, I mean, it's your right as a citizen to, to address the city with it. But if it's something to do with a park and rec, bring it to me. Bring it to me. Use the chain of command. Bring it to me. Okay? Don't backdoor something through the city or somebody's boss or whatever. That's not the way how we conduct business. All right? And then as far as Kayla is concerned, she's already overloaded. So let's try not to overload her anymore. I'll tell you what, I'm not the good anyway. I'm a terrible note taker anyway. So just want to applaud everything for that they do, but bring it in front of the commission or bring it to me, and then I can take it from there. All right? There was a recent incident a couple of months back that I heard about, and I forgot to mention it then. I didn't have that time, so now I do have that time. So if you have a problem with it, again, let me reinforce this. If you have a problem with a staff member of the city that supports the commission, you as a commissioner should be bringing it here or bringing it to me. And then I can bring it to the mayor or whatever, or to the council. Okay?
Well, then, now you brought that up, I would like to apologize to the commission because I was part of that mess, probably what you're talking about.
I am not mention any names.
I'd like to apologize to Michelle for accusing her of something that was based on hearsay.
Thank you. And once, things get heated on social media,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we have to remember we have to work together,
yeah,
so.
yeah. We're a team. There's no I in team,
Mhm.
right? Unless you guys want to be making phone calls and writing notes.
Unless you live at Northridge Park out there might be an I. You
Right,
don't know,
right, right,
It's a bit
right.
off.
Unless you want to be, like I said, doing this. If you want things done a particular way at a meeting or whatever, let me know. Don't backdoor to the secretary. Let me know. That's what I'm here. That's what you elected me to do. Right?
So I have a problem with Wayne, I'm coming straight to you and I'm not telling you.
I'm just saying it just,
Get in line.
They just turn around and say, Dwayne.
Yeah, if you want things done a particular way at a meeting, let's bring it up here, or bring it to me, and then we can talk about it, or I'll get it to Kayla, but, you know, she's a full-time mom, she's part in her husband's business, I mean, poor woman just being overworked. So, let's protect what we got going on, okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
So good.
All right, review of social media, we got that done. Meeting and voting protocols and rules.
Did we get another copy of these out?
I think everybody has them.
Everybody has a copy of it?
Does somebody not, because I did make one
Look at Robert's
extra.
rules.
Yeah.
Is that the, what, the RO and R one? This one?
It's
Like
this,
1, 2, and 3 on the first page, right?
With,
Is it in the packet?
it's not in the packet. I gave it to you
Oh,
guys
yeah,
a
give it
couple
to
of
us
months
last
ago.
time.
Got a while
Yeah,
ago,
yeah.
and emailed it back.
and then what's this one?
Oh, they don't know what that.
What is that one?
There's an old one that was out there, Eddie.
This one has, how do you do it, like a friendly amendment?
That's probably the same, maybe the same
Is it
thing.
true the president can only vote to break
Yep,
tie?
that's it.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, that's what I was saying, you can technically
So-
don't vote it on the garden thing.
And this is just, all this is, you guys, is this is like the top 20 things that they say, that there's a lot more. I wanted to give you guys at least something to kind of reference when you're talking about rules and things like that. This certainly, there's a ton more,
Oh,
so
of course.
it's just a starting point.
But we don't have, besides, you know, saying that we're following this Robert's rules, there aren't a list of specific rules. Do you know of something else, Michelle? that-
No, the city usually follows Robert's rules.
It's just, that's kind
Yeah.
of just the
It's kind of,
guidelines.
it's kind of the stand, it's kind of the
Yeah.
standard.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
That's right.
So are there any specific rules that we want to talk about, that we want to make sure that we're not?
Well, I think she kind of
Walking
brought
the
up a
line
good
on.
one at the last one, where like rules can't be put into motion at like the judging, where nobody from the public can be.
Right. No, nobody from the public knew where we were meeting
Yeah.
necessarily.
Yeah,
And adding the vote
Right.
that was
Yeah,
on the
right.
agenda ahead of time, right?
Yep.
Which is, I think, mostly us just learning, and
Yeah. Right.
kind of
Yeah,
learning
it's a
by
work
making
in progress.
mistakes, so.
I mean, at
think
a
it's all
meeting,
right.
you can definitely put things on the agenda, but you
Yep.
have to do it at the beginning of the
Yes.
meeting. And it has to be a meeting that the public can attend and knows where it is.
yeah.
So there's nothing in Robert Rules says that we have to be, well, that kind of got goofed up because we didn't have a key pickup,
Right.
so we didn't get to the building. There was a sign
Yeah, it
there.
was just like.
But so,
Right.
realistically, that shouldn't have been voted on that particular night. That's why we readjusted.
voted.
readjusted
Right,
last month.
Right, so we,
But that is why we did that,
right,
because like you had brought up, it was not in a space that was
public forum.
public.
Public
And
forum.
identified to the
Yeah,
public
and
so they could be
identified.
present,
Yeah,
So we corrected ourselves, and
Right.
we're looking, so.
definitely.
I don't know what else we're discussing on this, so.
I don't think there's a whole lot
Yeah, I think
specific,
that's
it was
it.
just
That's
asked that
it.
we kind of talk about it a little bit and so that we
We'll
know
do a
this is
better
kind of what
job.
we're following.
We'll do a
If we
better
have
job
issues-
policing ourselves, how about that?
Yeah, and I mean, if you have questions, bring it up rather
Yeah.
than just act on it and ask
All right,
questions.
next one, new business location for the park and rec meetings. It was brought to the commissioner, at least to my attention, that the mayor has suggested maybe he would like to see us have our meetings over at the community center.
Wasn't
And I
that you?
understand,
That was
oh, you
Toby.
brought it up?
Well,
Yeah.
he did also, Kirby did
Oh,
also at the
Kirby
last,
did
the
also,
last
right.
council meeting.
Right.
Oh,
I had no idea.
But I understand that not all of the commissions are meeting at the community center. Some are
No,
meeting here also.
Economic development's here.
I think EDA is here. Yeah.
What was the purpose of moving over to the community center? Is it just thinking more people would,
I can give you my reason for it.
yeah, what was your reason?
Not only that maybe more people would show up, but in a situation like last week when we had people speaking,
Yeah,
I have to significantly move to be able to hear.
yeah.
And it's easier if we're all facing towards the people if they want us to have something to say. That's how I feel about it. I don't think we're gonna have people at every meeting by any means. I don't think it's the hot new group.
It's the best singing one, come
Well,
on
it could
now.
be.
According to Michelle, we're the best singing.
But what I'm saying.
Twice in a row, so she must be pretty.
What I'm saying is that
Tell your friends.
it's easier for them to approach us in that manner. that's all.
I can understand that part of it.
I get that, but I think here, it's more of a,
Round table.
yeah, it's a more of a comfort feeling, you know? I can just use the example that they used to have Montrose Days over at the community center.
Yeah.
And it was like, they were all here facing everybody way out there, you know? Which you're saying,
Right.
talk to them, but it's more like you feel welcomed when you're here. And having it here too is a lot of help if Christy needs to run and grab something. If we need some document or whatever, it's right here for her.
Kayla, what are your thoughts?
I think that this is going well with us meeting here. I feel like you put us in a bigger room, it's a little bit harder for everyone to hear.
I mean, if we had to, like for certain things.
If we, for some reason, we had some kind of meeting that we anticipate a lot of people might, that if we asked, you know, the residents to come and give their opinions at a certain meeting, it might make sense to do it there, because obviously, like you said, we don't have the room to stick a bunch of people in here. And,
No.
I mean,
Well, like for instance, you guys were talking about asking the kids and the families over at that park.
yeah.
You know, maybe that's a day that you send a flyer or something to their house and you say, we invite you to come to community center and give your opinions on something that you want out
Yes.
there. That might be a time that you want to be over there because you aren't, there's a likelihood there's going to be 15 extra people.
You know, maybe
Yes.
we asked the guests to sit at a better place, so, you know, we all could hear and see them.
Well,
Maybe-
I could see like if we're having both, because it's like,
I'm sitting
Three,
where you
four
put
extra-
the
it's a
chairs.
Well, I'm trying to make it like
It's
Toby
a
says, he's
square.
gotta turn around.
It's a square.
like times when like Bolton and
We can put you in the
Medica are
middle.
gonna be here and they have like 2 or 3 guys here, it gets kind of crowded in here, plus adding people, something like that maybe would be a
Yeah,
good
if we
idea.
know we're gonna have other people
Then we
attending the
move
meeting, it's
community
gonna
center.
get, yeah.
But we are also trying to not keep moving meeting
Yes.
times and locations.
Well, we're not
That's
changing the
very true.
time.
Well, we're not, okay.
I
Well,
mean,
and
we-
don't forget, we changed the time because you weren't gonna be available.
I understand that. I gave other options.
You're right. I think my idea is, I think keep it as is.
I think so too, and if we do have some big,
We have to just adjust from there, adjust and modify from there.
And it's not like it's gonna be that often, I wouldn't
Right.
think we would have 40 people in here at one time.
I've been coming to Park and Rec for 9 years, and I'm usually the only one that shows up.
Yeah.
So,
So like I said, if it's like something big where, like this type of deal, if they're actually,
I mean, I respect your opinion and I respect the mayor's opinion, but yeah, I just think that, I like the round robin table effect. I think you get more done, there's a lot more interface, good communication. And I think the plus side is if Christie, like Michelle said, if Christie needs something, she's got it.
it's nice to have everything.
So I think we just keep it here the way it is, and then we'll adjust the time, you know, back to in the spring again when we'll be done with hockey. If you ever gonna see hockey.
No, I'm in my new position.
Oh, okay.
I like the 6:30 time better actually.
Yeah.
Personally.
It's for work, you know what you're doing.
Christie's like,
You know, it's once a month. It's just
home
fine.
at
I don't think we need a
5:15 now,
motion.
by the way.
no, I don't think so,
Okay.
it's just discussion.
All right, so, the new Park and Rec applicants, I saw one.
I thought we had more than one.
We have one.
We had people inquiring, did we get other, no, we
Just
never
said we
got any
got
other
one.
actual applications. And we did send them out.
I need to apologize, because when I sent this to you guys, I did not redact his personal information, and I should have. So, just a heads up to that.
Not a big deal. You look pretty impressive
I didn't try to
applicant.
contact them.
I know.
Who, can we ask who it is?
Well, the
You
name's
have-
there.
Here, it's in your, it's in the packet,
Did you?
at the very back of the packet.
Next page.
It's the
There
very
you
last
go.
page.
Josh or something?
Yep,
Here.
Josh.
Is it the last page?
Yeah, it's the very last page.
Please get it.
Got so much paper.
BS, got a BS and DAFO resource
Yeah.
management, so that'd be huge for like.
Minor in
Some of these
soil
questions,
science.
yeah.
You know this individual?
I don't know.
Anybody know?
I don't know.
Thanks.
You don't?
Didn't he say it's a couple years he's lived here?
I thought he said he'd been here a couple of
A
years.
couple years,
So
so
it's
not
plus
real
one.
long, but.
I did reach out to Kim Niska.
Yeah, he did.
She was interested, but I haven't reached out.
And I called those 2 people,
Okay,
right, and I never heard back.
I'll reach out to her again.
okay.
Well,
And
what
I
do you
just,
think
she
about
gets
this?
an application up here.
Yep, she can, otherwise it's on her website, or
Okay.
if she just wants to call, I can email it to her if that's easier.
So if we think that we want to give this guy an opportunity to join, do we just pass that on to city council and it's up
Make
to
a
them?
recommendation,
Yeah.
yeah, motion.
Well, I'll make the motion that we reach back out to Josh.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion?
Just do a quick look up.
Stalking
Are
them.
you Facebook stalking?
Yeah, I found
Oh my gosh.
Follow him on social media?
it.
That's what I figured you were doing, I was just gonna say
Yeah.
anything, but.
Eddie, take a vote, Eddie?
Do we get a set, who said, oh, she did.
Recommend to the city council?
Aye.
Okay.
Toby's still
Toby?
talking.
Oh, I'm good. Aye.
Okay, Michelle?
Aye.
Caleb? And I vote aye. Motion carries.
Has-
I think this
You got
guy,
some
I think would be a good
popcorn.
addition here.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, there's no problem.
From Hector, Minnesota, Habitat for Humanity
Oh,
Alliance.
Alexis Hector?
Yeah, well, he was up there.
I grew up not too far.
Next one, that'll be.
All right, next item is holiday decoration contest judging.
Calendar.
Do we have any dates in mind for that? Or do
Well,
we-
I'd say the week before Christmas is probably the best time, but
The 22nd, Thursday. I don't know if that worked. I'm
We
just going
possibly, what about the week prior to that? That's just 2 days. I mean, kids are out of school the next day, so we might be leaving town
Okay,
that Thursday night.
I can tell you the week to 19th, 23rd is not good for me because I'm gonna have some steroid shots on my back.
I mean, I would think, do you think that most people would have their decorations out the week of the
Oh, God.
12th?
probably already.
By
know.
Yeah,
already, a
people
lot of
don't,
people
yeah.
do.
Now, don't get me wrong, when I went to put my 60-inch wreath up after testing the lights and they worked on it, and then I got it all the way up and hung it, and then a quarter of the lights didn't work.
That sounds about right.
This week.
But you'll have them up by the week of the 12th.
Oh, God, yeah, it'll be up
Okay.
this weekend.
What night of the week do we wanna do it?
Uh,
Looks like the 12th or the 16th anyway.
Mondays and Tuesdays are
The
not
12th is
good
the
for
city
12th, the city
council.
council.
Yep, 12th is city council.
The
13th
16th
will not
would
work for me.
Hmm.
The
Wanna do a
14th or
Friday?
15th. I can't do Friday.
You want a Friday?
No, I'm saying, I think that.
Or the 15th, I mean?
Yeah,
The 15th looks
15th is a
open.
Thursday.
15th work good for everyone?
Looks good to me.
What time?
6:30?
Well, I mean, I'm home after 5:15 now.
Can we start
Well, so you
earlier?
can start
Let's start
earlier.
earlier.
How
We-
about
Do we have to
5:30
stay
here?
together? Can we
Six.
divide and conquer on this?
Six.
Is there any rule that
Six.
says we have to?
I mean, you didn't last time.
6?
I'd
Six.
say-
So I think
Same.
you can divide and conquer if you want to do that, or go 2 and 2, or.
Six.
Well, we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna be a little more organized than this one than last time. So, 12:15 is 6?
6 o'clock?
6 o'clock, 12:15, here, meet here?
That's fine.
12:15, 6 o'clock.
Okay.
December
City Hall?
15th, 6 p.m.
And
I was just
then-
saying maybe we were saying divide and conquer. And we can
Yeah,
spread
so
out
let's
a little bit.
do what we did like the Halloween, it was, actually worked out, where certain people took certain neighborhoods.
Can I just keep your clipboard for now then?
So why don't we just
So we'll just meet here and
meet
then.
here? And then we'll divvy up neighborhoods then?
We can chat about that. We can maybe-
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Where everybody kind
that
of
worked
knows their
out
own
well.
Worked out
stuff.
well?
the way we did, yeah.
Okay. Is that
That
okay
way it
with
won't take
everyone?
any of us very long.
So we can cover more ground.
What it only
Split it
took
up.
us in what, an hour?
Maybe 2.
And then we'll
tops.
announce the winner in January?
Yeah, we need a January date,
Well,
don't
you
we?
need a January meeting date, but
Yeah, we'll
Yep,
have
that's
next on
our
the
next
agenda.
thing. All right, let me add this.
January 12th, that work for anybody?
I believe
For
that's
what?
what it should be.
January 12th for the actual next meeting date, because that will also be new officers and stuff on it too, probably, won't it?
No.
You
Yes,
can
it
set
would.
that.
Oh, new,
Yep, you have to have a new one, or you don't have a commission.
Yeah.
oh, yeah,
That's what has to-
yeah, we'll have a new commissioner.
Yes.
Well, we also, when is, I thought I read in here the voting.
When was our regular date?
Voting for.
It would be January 12th would be your next
Okay, so
regular.
then January
Voting
12th it
for
is.
commissioners or whatever we have to do.
That should be in January.
It's here somewhere about the date
That'd be
that's supposed to
something.
happen.
I asked that question and they said that we still could operate, did I not? I think
We were going to ask that question,
I
I know
did ask it, I
that.
thought I asked it.
I think he could be voted in on the 9th, and then your meeting is on the 12th, because, right, the 9th is gonna be the first council meeting,
Right,
So you make your recommendation in December, he gets voted, or he gets accepted.
December 12th.
He can
Oh,
get-
right, so,
So we can.
He can
right,
get.
Plenty of time to
right,
get
right. So by the 12th, you'll have that
Right,
next commission
right.
member, so you'll be
Yeah.
fine.
So he'll
And he'll
in
get,
January.
he would get sworn in at the city council, oh, here on the
Yeah.
12th,
Just like we did.
on the 12th.
In June.
Yep.
But no, isn't there something, I swear I saw the page that said.
You
we
didn't
have to
see
vote on-
nothing.
That said what?
Vote on members of this commission coming up. Thought I saw it
Are
somewhere,
you talking about your new board positions?
yeah. isn't
That's
that-
usually in January.
Yeah, it was like, I think this thing said January 5th or something.
For what?
Well, that's because that's when the meetings used to be.
Right.
Used to be, yeah.
So.
So that will be on the
Because
agenda.
you
for-
guys
That'll
will
be on the
vote.
agenda
You
for the
want
first
to
meeting.
stay.
Oh, that will be on
You want
the,
to
on
say
the
No.
agenda for
I thought-
December or for
No.
January?
Didn't I see
For
something
January,
where it
for
was like a
January.
We're
number of
already in December
years?
for January.
Yeah, but the first one, I think it's normally a 3-year, but I think they went to a 1-year, is that correct?
No,
No.
our term is a 3-year, the officers, like
Is it a
you,
1-year?
changes every year.
Every year.
Okay,
Alright, well,
okay.
I'll just make
Eddie,
sure.
get ready, you're gonna be new secretary for
Absolutely.
January.
That would be a terrible idea for everybody. I'm telling you.
January 12th meeting,
Can we get a motion for that?
January 12th meeting at 6?
I
Six-
forgot to,
six-
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Is 6 what time we normally meet, or is it 6:30?
It's
6:30.
6:30.
We're doing a half hour early.
Wait, because you can't change it. So what time is the meeting on Thursday and what time are they gonna stay that time?
They have
I
to.
think that's what we've had it at 6:30.
It's
Right.
6:30.
6:30 has
Yeah,
been our
6:30 is
time.
fine.
Okay.
6:30 is
Okay.
fine, I think,
6:30,
everybody?
January 12th,
Yes,
here.
We don't want to confuse Eddie.
yes,
No,
City Hall.
I'm the one that said 6 o'clock.
6:30.
But it's 6:30.
I know, but
6:30.
he wanted it sooner. I was just throwing times out.
Before we adjourn,
Oh, good lord.
I wanted to add something, remember, to the regional park, and I didn't discuss it. So can we go back for a second?
Okay. Let's see. Sorry, let me save my. I can try and get it on there. 'Cause sometimes I forget and then I'm like scrounging a day before to write everything up. Okay. Just did not take these. As long as I thought it was gonna take us. I thought we were gonna do
Wait.
about 10:30.
Can I add my topic on regional park?
Yeah, and just kind of,
Put it in
put
your
stuff in
calendar?
here, yeah, just get the calendar going here.
Okay,
I
I'm
don't want-
just gonna go ahead because it's getting late.
Okay.
So there was some discussion this week about the regional park area. The sunflower area, you know, the Johnny
Yep.
is not out there anymore. So, I caught something at the last budget meeting on Monday, and I had in the, Public Works also brought up something, and I had talked to the mayor. It sounds like the fire department may be looking at using the regional park for a burn area. So, in discussion with Public Works, he's thought it would be best to bring this up at the commission here, because you guys are parks, so that you kind of know what's going on. So that whole sunflower area.
That's like how you guys do a controlled burn type deal.
Which area is this?
The idea was,
Over by
the idea was
that
to
whole
The
area.
have
hill section.
somebody come in there,
That's what I thought.
till it up, make it nice and flat, plant some wild grass, and do one to two trainings a year on grass fires, since we get those a lot, we don't get a lot of trainings on them. But that is not something that's been moved forward by any means, but it's an idea, since it's not being used right now.
I mean, if it
You're like
helps.
giving me the evil eye.
No, I'm thinking about it, I mean, it's a training opportunity.
It is a training opportunity, but that's a public park, and you can't do that kind of things in public parks. And then you have to stop and think too, who's gonna pay for that? Who's gonna, you
Fire
know?
department is.
And discussion with Public Works Director as well. You just talked about having it as a yearly thing. The grass really doesn't grow back yearly, you know, so, I don't know. He just wanted you guys to think about it. No, it was
Who wanted us to think about it?
Public Works Director.
Well, the
And-
grass would go back.
Not so
You
much.
need to look at the soil out there. There was only 3 inches of topsoil, and it wasn't even topsoil put on the clay on that baseball field. They had a hard time growing the grass that was out there, and now Johnny's been out there and tilled it up, so you've got clay tilled in with the topsoil too.
Well, it's like my yard.
And rocks, oh my god.
And
so
there's a
many rocks.
million rocks out there.
So, but you gotta remember, it is a public park, so, I mean, I do think great opportunity for training, but,
It'd be only in that one section though, right?
Well, I mean, it's good that we know of it, number one, but number two, I haven't seen any type of request or,
It
Right,
hasn't
it's
gotten-
just
Right.
brainstorming,
It's
it
just-
sounds like.
it's basically in the infant stages right
It's
now.
very much so.
Yeah,
It's an idea. If,
Right.
You know, nothing can get done out there for the time being. Nothing has been moved.
Yeah.
Cause it's gonna be coming out of our pocket to get the grass, get it, planted and all that stuff.
yeah, and I think the more information, once we get more
It's very-
information, we can make a
yeah.
sound decision.
Yeah, exactly.
But thank you for that.
Yeah. Well, it's good to be on top of what's happening.
All right, we got the next meeting. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Hey, you're looking at me.
Come on, Mr.
Michelle said
Popcorn.
first.
I will motion it.
Okay, Michelle makes a motion to adjourn. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Eddie?
Aye. Aye.
Oh, I.
Aye.
You. Great meeting.